As you can see, your girl is doing another live because I definitely wanted to touch back on the live that I did this morning. I was at the gym, so it was a lot of background noise, and you couldn't really hear me as clear as I would have liked for you to hear me. Hopefully, you heard what you need to hear and you got the point. But nevertheless, I wanted to kind of touch bases on it so you can hear me loud and clear. And I was basically speaking on all the corruption that goes on in America, especially in the 757. And after getting my rest last night, waking up this morning, the first thing I see was the governor of Virginia speaking on the shit that Trump's been doing, speaking about ICE and how ICE is detaining, loved ones and, so on and so on. Y'all already know what's going on. Y'all get it. Okay, but what traumatized me was to hear them speaking about how ICE is detaining people and ripping them away from their loved ones, but not addressing the fuck shit that's been going on in Virginia, like parental alienation, the injustices that myself and other people have endured, and no one says anything. They're not trying to bring awareness to what's going on in their city, right here at home, but you worried about everybody else. So they just bashing Trump. But in my eyes, in my opinion, none of them are any better than him because you guys pick and choose what you want to deal with, what you want to address. You pick and choose on who you stand with and what's important and what ain't. And that's not right. Pain is pain, wrong is wrong. So when you see a person like myself fighting so hard that have been facing injustice for years, have been detained for my loved ones pretty much, not behind those four walls, but in my mind and my heart, feeling like my soul has just been ripped out of my body, feeling hopeless many days and nights, and nobody cared. When I knocked on doors around here in the 757 expressing my concerns, my trauma, no one cared. I got so many doors shut in my face on down from the churches, the officials that's on the podium now that we see having so much to say about Trump, but nothing about what they're doing, though. Nothing about how corrupted the laws are in our state, 757, and especially Suffolk, Virginia, because that's where I was with my injustice. The law didn't care about me. The judges didn't give a fuck if I lived or died. They didn't give a fuck how they were tearing me apart. The governor didn't care. The Senate didn't care. The House of Delegates didn't care. The mayor didn't care. No one cared. The state didn't care. The community didn't care. The churches didn't give a fuck. Like I was on my own. It was like the world watched me be set on fire and nobody came to my rescue. So when they want to talk about what Trump is doing, please address what is happening into your own community. 757. VA, two up, two down. Please bring awareness to parental alienation. Please make those who have committed a crime against me be held accountable for their actions. I want to be compensated for my pain and suffering. I deserve that. I don't care what y'all see me post on social media. That doesn't negate the fact that I'm still hurting, that I'm still battling trauma deep down inside. And I do the best I can, what I can do to go on about my business. I am still seeking long time, long-term therapy to help me cope with my trauma, my battles. Meanwhile, on the other hand, every time I feel like I'm trying to get ahead and I'm trying to move forward, I feel like I'm being ripped right back somewhere to where I was, where I'm trying to escape from. And that goes to me having to pay those who have caused harm to my life, who defame my character, who supposed to be upstanding citizens and lawmakers to serve and protect us, are the main ones that cause this hurt on me. and they take from me. One thing about the law, they will rip you apart. And every time you be in front of those crooks, they will charge you just for stepping foot into the court. You got to pay attorney fees. You got to pay court costs. And that shit adds up when they drag the shit and let the shit go on for so long. 14 years of my life have been in the Suffolk JDR court. That's a long time. A long, long time. For absolutely no reason. All because folks are money hungry, folks are biased, and they gonna suck you dry and get whatever they can get just to inject pain on you. They thrive off of that. Just so they can do that and get away with it and continue to do because they see you're not going to give up, then guess what? They just accumulating a bill. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you got to pay that shit. And when you say I ain't paying the fuck fine, like I said, I don't owe nobody that hurt me. I'm not paying them shit. Guess what? Soon you file your income taxes or your state return, they going to snatch that shit up. You done work all year long. You done paid taxes and you are due what you pay. And then just to turn around for them to snatch your shit right up on out of you. You don't get to enjoy none of that. You already in debt. You just trying to rebuild your life, but you still gotta pay them and you owe them for ruining your life, for causing chaos and commotion in your life. Make it make sense. I'm confused. And when all says and done, and it boils down to you all you have. The officials are not going to stand with you, but they're going to talk about Trump being this monster. But Trump have let them know who he is. He didn't hide shit. He made it known to the world what type of person he was. But America still voted him in. So deal with that. But half of the other fuckers hiding behind the mask. They selling you false hope and advertisement just to get what they want out of you. Then once they get what they want, it's all about greed and power. It's all about what endorsements they can snatch up and hold on to secure their pockets, to secure their bag, and to make sure their children and their family are straight while you out here fucking struggling. Everything fucking high in this world. Ain't nothing free. You need two sources of income to survive out here. You understand that? So when you see a black queen like myself out here thriving and striving, trying to make a living, why do I have to endure paying the law from the trauma that inflicted on me and my loved ones? Make it make sense. Why is it when I go crying out to the officials in the 757 area, no one has stepped in to help me? Why? Why is that? Why is it okay that they get off of you hurting? They want to see you down. They are the breadwinners. They the winners. You down here. They want to keep you down. They want you to be stuck in poverty. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you win and prosper. And then they want to threaten to detain you if you go on fucking social media telling your truth. Because they gave you a gag order to shut your mouth and not bring awareness to what's going on in the 757. That is not right. So I do not want to hear the officials say anything. Nobody say shit about Trump when I know that you guys have yet to address what the fuck is going on in the state of Virginia in the 757. Nobody have addressed any of my concerns. And I'm not the only one, I'm sure, that's facing injustice, but I am one of that's speaking out and been speaking out for a long time. And I wrote my book, My Dysfunctional Life by Dawn Victory. And I ain't resting on shit. I'm not letting up on shit. And I want them to know that you cannot negate the fact that I am here. You cannot negate the fact that you guys have not addressed any of my concerns. You guys have ignored everything that I have brought to your table. You have shown me that you don't give two fucks about me if I live or die. You don't care if I have to pay the law from ruining my life. And you're not trying to put a stop to what they're doing, destroying lives. And just like I say, ICE is destroying lives. I feel like the court suffer JDR court system is destroying lives as well. They're no better than ICE. The law in the 757, in my opinion, is no better than ICE. The government officials in my area is no better than ICE. Y'all talk about Trump. All of you guys are in cahoots with one another. This is my opinion. And yes, I am angry. I try my best to move on. I try my best to keep my head up. I try my best to put the past behind me and leave the past behind me. But the trauma is still there. And it never gets better when you see that the world is still corrupt. When you see that there's no change nowhere in the future. When you got those type of people behind the desk. When you see those type of people on that screen, on them podiums telling fucking lies, there's no hope. And the Lord told me to tell my story. And I get angry and angrier when I see that these people really don't want me to speak up. That's why the officials haven't stepped in. But they want to talk about Trump and want to use the poor people to try to eliminate him out of the game. So they greedy ass and step in his place. That's what it's about. They would do the same thing. I don't give a damn what president you have had. None of them have put you in a position where you making rich folks money. Not one. Everything is so high. The rent is 3 times what it used to be. How the hell can anybody afford the cost of living making minimum wages? Make it make sense. That's why we have to stop supporting these celebrities, these famous rich folks. We got to stop supporting them because at the end of the day, they're not investing into our future or our children's future. They have enough money to the point where they can put that money into minimum wages and boost the shit up to at least $25 an hour. They have enough money where they can make the cost of living affordable, where you can live suitable and decent and survive. They have that, but guess what? They're not going to give it to you. They're going to invest their money into materialistic shit that they've been doing, going to continue to do, live their best life, and allow you to watch them live a good life, give you their ass to kiss, and that's just what it is. So all of them are the same. Anybody with power is still on the same level as the person that they talking bad about with power. That's just the way the world goes. And that's why I decided to write my book, My Dysfunctional Life by Don Victor. And I encourage you guys to order your book, read it. And I hope that it encourages you to tell your story. I want to motivate people. I want to be the voice for the voiceless at all costs. It doesn't matter what it will cost you. Don't silence your voice. Don't allow them to silence your voice or threaten you that they're going to detain you for coming on social media telling your story. If they can speak out and say what the hell they want to say, this is our right, our freedom to speak up, to have a voice. God gave us a voice. He allowed us to be able to communicate. And when you see something ain't right, you speak up. Don't be like the rest of the people. And that's how the people treated me in the 757. I don't go to anybody's church in the 757 no more because I feel like the church is really not for me. They have turned their back on me. I can't get no support, no help, no nothing. I asked for book signings at the church. And the same people have book signings at the church and they say, I'm going to get back with you. Never hear nothing from them. What type of fuck shit is that? The least you can say, well, now I'm not going to let you have your book signed here. I don't want to get involved. But they would rather leave me on red. What type of shit is that? So I decided to not be a fool and support people that's not supporting me. I decided to not stand with those that have not stood with me in my time of need. And that's just what it is. They don't owe me nothing apparently. And I damn sure don't owe them shit. But to continue to do what I do best, and that's to speak up and let my voice be heard, no matter what the cost is. And it's just not right. And I pray that one day that the governor and the officials in 757 and the law would change and they will hear me out and they will know that this is wrong. They know it's wrong, but own up to admit that it was wrong and that I do deserve to be compensated. I do deserve to have the justice that I know I deserve. But when you got all these people in front of you blocking what you saying, trying their hardest to make sure you don't get in the door and this story don't reach to the top. It's hard, it's complicated. But I trust God to get me there because God knows in heaven that I will not be where I need to be if He don't step in and intervene. So I'm patiently waiting for my moment and my time. And I'm not going to let nothing stop me. So I said what I said. I meant what I said. This is how I feel. This is my trauma, my feelings, my thoughts. And it's not right to see the officials in the 757 address every single thing other than what's happening in their own community. And that starts with my story. That starts with what happened to me and what was allowed in the state of Virginia, Suffolk, Virginia at that. It's not right. I don't like it, and I'll never be okay with it. And I'm not gonna silence my voice for you or nobody. So before y'all try to check Trump for the fuck shit that he does, check yourself. Take accountability. What you have allowed. You may not been the one that inflicted the pain on me, but you damn sure sat there and watched that happen. And you did nothing about it. So you just as worse as Trump in my eyes. And I'm sure in God's eyes. You are no better than him. So until the community, the officials in the law do right by me, everything that you touch will crumble. And I feel like all that y'all see that's going on in the world is the world's karma. Y'all allow a lot of shit to happen and go on, and nobody did nothing because y'all felt like it wasn't your business. But I've been telling y'all, make it your damn business because this is your community. The people amongst us is still our people. We are and should be one, but y'all have divided us. You got the rich people over here and the poor people behind them. That's just how it is. So do better. You know better. Speak of parental alienation. Make it a law. Make those that committed that crime be held accountable. Pay me for all my pain and suffering. No amount of money really will erase the pain, but they'll sure be a lot easier and it'll bring a little ease to my pain. Definitely will. And then you'll know when you do this, you got to pay up. There's consequences behind your actions. So while y'all talking about ICE detaining people, talk about how Suffolk, Virginia divide families and cause broken homes and allow parental alienation. And then expect the person that they inflicted the trauma on pay them thousands of dollars. Knowing the people ain't got it, you done robbed them enough, but you still want them to pay you. Make it make sense. And then when you go on social media, getting loud on their ass, spilling the tea, they want to threaten to detain you. A innocent person at that day ain't never in her life or his life had a criminal record, but y'all want to detain them for speaking out on social media, for exercising their constitutional rights. What type of shit is that? Y'all ask that right. Do better. Please. Gracious. Have grace and mercy and accountability for your actions and stop negating the fact that you are responsible for my trauma.